Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be getting into some shenanigans. So, plans for today. Up here at the shop, I got a couple hours to work with, so I'm not too stressed about time like the previous video. I brought my welding stuff up to start on this old girl. I didn't talk too much about this thing in the last video. So basically this is my 2016 Subaru WRX. It has been my baby car. I've owned it for about 3 years. Bought it bone stock. It had like an NVIDIA cap back on it. So a week after I bought the car, I ended up buying the stage 1 package, which is just an intake and a cob. And totally changed the car. After that, it was over with. It's a FA20 big turbo, stock internals. It's an unopened block. It's got 117,000 miles on it, and it hasn't moved anywhere. And well, it hasn't been on the road in about a year and some change. I ended up blowing the turbo out last year, and then I ordered 3 different turbos for this car, and every single one of them was on back order for an indefinite amount of time. Basically what happened, the first turbo that I purchased was a FP Blue. They ended up emailing me telling me that the turbo was on back order for a couple months and they didn't have an ETA. So I was like, all right, cool. Sounds good, just let me know. 6 months went by, didn't hear anything from the company. They were unresponsive to my emails and stuff, so I figured, went through, did a refund on that turbo, ended up buying a rebuild kit for the OEM turbo. Ended up refunding the rebuild kit and ended up buying this Boost Lab 54X, which then really good. I mean, I haven't hit boost in the car yet, it's still untuned. I got a couple other things coming for the car. ETS front mount with a full cold side titanium piping. Process West manifold, a delicious tuning flex fuel kit, a Nostrum high pressure fuel pump. Once I get all that thrown in the car, I will go ahead and get a tune. I'd like to have it done this year, but financially, I don't know if that's gonna happen. I have beaters, so this is my one nice car. I like to keep it nice. But yeah, that aside, talk about what is going on with this thing a little bit. Essentially, when I parked this car for the first time, I had 2 bottles of coolant in the back seat, and at some point, after I parked the car, they ended up getting smushed and spilled all under the carpet, pretty much completely destroyed the carpet. And when I pulled the carpet, we're having some serious rust issues on these OEM braces, which, as you can see, you can't really tell, but I'll open up the other side for you. So when the coolant spilled, I pulled the carpet and we were having some rust issues on these OEM seat brace rail tracks is what the OEM part number is for, but these are just spot welded in. They're just the brackets for the seats. They screw in here and here. Gotta block that out because my VIN's there. But yeah, basically having rust issues there. I have them in other shops, so I'll show you what they look like. So yeah, I just removed my super sketchy ghetto seat rig that I had going on because I had to be able to move the car in and out of the shop and around when it was in the way. But yeah, so I got that out of the way. This is basically what it looks like. A couple weeks ago, I cut and removed all the spot welds for these 2 braces, sanded everything down super nice, and ended up doing a weld through primer on it. The major setback with this is I have not, I've basically been dreading welding these in. It's really bad, but basically we're gonna have to pull these fuel lines out of the way, and you can see where I had burned through the spot welds in a couple places because I was originally doing it with a drill and a spot weld remove drill bit, and it just wasn't working at all. I was not having a good time with that combination, so I ended up going and getting a Milwaukee band file, which who knew worked fantastic for spot welds, and I do not regret spending $400 on the tool because I will probably use it for many other things. It's a very powerful tool. As you can see, I burned through 2 places with that as well, so you know, just stuff I have to fill in. But I'm gonna have to remove these fuel rails, and then I have the brackets in the other part of the shop that I just got done drilling one of them out. So I'm gonna bring my welder set up over here and attempt my first time stick welding, and of course it's on a nice car. So I do have the old braces in the other part of the shop. I'll show you guys. Yeah, these are the old braces. As you can see, it was a pain in the dick to get out of the car, but we got it out. This is the new OEM replacement. I got all the holes drilled for where the previous spot welds were, and I have the other one over there that I have not got to yet. So yeah, I'm going to end up sanding down that old one and give me some area to use to practice some stick welding because I've never stick welded before, and it's going to be a great experience. I want to get to that tonight because I've been dreading doing it for months and months and months, and that is the last thing that's really preventing me from being able to get a temporary tune on the car to be able to go drive it. And this man ain't felt boost in a very long time, and I miss it. So I'd like to get that done today. But more importantly, I'm here to work on the E36. This is going to be the first dedicated video to getting this hunk of shit running good. And I'd like to drive it, but it's nighttime out and the headlights don't work. So we might have to come up here tomorrow, maybe take it for a spin. That's if we get it to a working condition. If you guys haven't watched the last video, make sure you go do, because at the end of the last video, I went through and gave everybody a rundown on this car, what's going on with it, how I got it, the story behind it. Basically sat in a field for a very long time, and yeah, this is what I got. So first thing we're going to be trying to diagnose in this video is this massive vacuum leak that is making the car run like complete shit. Something under the manifold, either the manifold's cracked or a vacuum hose is cracked or something's not plugged in correctly, but every time you turn the car on, it just sounds like a vacuum cleaner running. It's really bad, dude. So I don't even know how it idles. And then every time you plug the mass airflow sensor into it, it tries to compensate for it, and it just can't. So it just straight up dies out. So yeah, that's the major issue right now. And then we're going to be going through and doing some maintenance things. I got a brand new set of NGKs for this thing, 4 prongs. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. It may be a dead coil pack, but there's definitely a vacuum leak in there. So when we do the plugs, I'll turn the car on, go through, check all the coil packs, make sure that they're all firing, and then after that, we're going to have to diagnose this coolant issue. Once this car reaches temp, it's like a sprinkler out of the expansion tank cap. So that's going to have to get sorted. I'm thinking it's just a bad cap and it's not rated. I think this is not an OEM replacement, like a direct OEM replacement for the expansion tank. And I'm thinking this just can't handle the pressure. I'm hoping so, because if not, we're looking into some bigger issues, brother. And I really don't want to replace the head gasket on this car, but if it comes down to it, probably not a bad idea. 188,000 miles. Haven't done a compression test on the car yet, so maybe the rings are blown out, because this fucker smokes bad, dude. It's like if I think this thing run for like 10 minutes, man, this whole shop, you wouldn't even be able to see 5 feet into it. But I thought that was a mixture of bad gas, and I'm hoping it's a mixture of bad gas. This thing was running on 7-year-old gas. I just put some fresh 93 in it the other day, and it doesn't really run any better. It has a brand new fuel filter, so I'm hoping that's not an issue. Maybe somehow it's a clogged sock, but it's definitely getting fuel to the rails because it turns on and idles fine. So I'm gonna start pulling this air box out, get all of this extra stuff out of the way that I don't need. Get this mass airflow sensor out, this intake boot, get the throttle body off, or I might just leave it on there depending how much of a pain it is to get off. That way I can start tearing into this manifold. I can already see a couple bolts missing on the manifold. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I'll have to get a flashlight to show you, but yeah, there is a more than satisfactory amount of bolts that are missing on the manifold. So that might just be the problem. So I don't know. We're gonna tear into it, figure it out, and garage burnouts tonight. It's happening. Just kidding. Clickbait not working. Where you're seeing me from is pretty much the only angle that you're going to be able to start seeing me work on this thing for now until I get stuff ordered in. Like I said, just trying this shit out. I do a lot of stuff up here, so I figured I'd just record some of it, make some content. But yeah, I'm going to start pulling stuff out, and we're going to start getting her dirty. So send her, brother. Look at that. Easy peasy. I think you just pop these clips out. I'm kind of scared because I don't. Almost did it, brother. I almost broke it. You never know, man. I don't want to break this. I'm telling you, these I don't know what they're worth, but drift tacks, Adam LZ buying all the 36s, and this thing right here might be worth some money. Oh, all right. Making some progress, you know what I'm saying? This is what we like to see. Pop this out. Ugh. All that for nothing? I was hoping to see some muddy shit and stuff like that in here, but this thing looks mint. I mean, it's not great, but it's not dirty, so I don't know, that's a plus. And of course, all my nice Torx bits and Milwaukee tips are at a buddy's house because I left them there, so great. Oh my lord. All right, you guys might want to take a look at this. So this is pretty much the first piece that I pulled off. I'm gonna turn my flash on real quick. This is the first piece that I've pulled off. Brand new intake boot. And what in the hell is going on down there? That probably ain't great. Now let's get this pulled all the way off and see what's going on. They RTV'd the fucking screw, dude. Oh my god, that's terrible. All right. Junk. A little bit more junk. Yeah, the hose is fucking split, dude. So, I mean, that probably is a majority of the problem, I would think, you know. So the fitting on the intake boot looks fine, but that doesn't. So this thing is never been replaced. These are super common to fucking rip and shit, so it doesn't really surprise me. But yeah, that's not good. Not a good start. We're gonna go ahead, get this little thing popped up. Oh, you're shitting me, dude. All right, so we're gonna have to dig that out, which is fantastic. That's probably never, I'm not finding that. So get another one of those. I would imagine that's an IAT sensor or something, I don't know, but we're gonna take this one off as well and not do the same thing. Just gonna, oh, boys. Yeah, it's a little scary. Just come out, please. Got a fancy light up behind me so I can see what I'm doing. Boys, ain't looking good so far, just being honest with you. We're gonna pop these 11 mils off of the manifold. Oh, I mean, the fucking clip's already broken on it, so I guess it doesn't really matter if I break it, right? I don't really see what's holding her on there. Well, it's broken anyways, and PCV is working pretty good, I'd say. Now I need another one of those, because that's probably never going to seal again. Oh, don't lose it, don't lose it. Fuck it. I'm learning, boys, I'm learning, alright? See that? I didn't drop that one into oblivion, and I don't see that one anywhere. But we'll get the manifold off and then worry about that. So, we got that out of the way. I'm going to pull this Vanos plug as well. Oh my god, do I have to take the rail off to get the manifold off? Dude, don't I? Or does it come off with it? Hopefully it just comes off with it. That'd be sick, but knowing my luck, probably not. Definitely dropping 95% of these bolts into the engine bay, so guess we'll go ahead and go get some new ones tomorrow. Oh my lord. Dude, there's a bolt back there. Dude. How the fuck am I gonna get that one? Alright, I got one. That's all that matters. I just need one so that I can get replacements. Oh my god, that was crazy. I'm locked in right now. I don't know about that one, boys. Oh my lord! Boys, I'm 3 for 3 right now. I haven't dropped one yet. I'm locked in, baby. Locked in. 4 for 4. Going stupid. 5 for 5. The last one's crazy. I'm gonna have to take the rail out. I think that's the only option here. Oh my god, dude. What did I get myself into buying this thing, man? Gotta figure out how to take these little freaking harness guys off. Oh, it's pretty good. 1997 technology right there. That's all, dude. That's a little scary, actually. Dude, the fucking, it was probably just dumping gas down the fucking... I took one 10 mil out, and the whole rail's getting ready to come out, dude. There's no way that's... Oh, I can't wait to get an actual camera, so I can just sit here and listen to fucking... the Initial D soundtrack while working on this thing. Dude, it would make everything so much better. The bolt's loose, but it's spinning on the inside of whatever it screws into. And I gotta get that off. Because if I can't get that off, I can't get this fuel rail out of the way. And then I can't get that bolt. Oh, wait a minute. There's not a bolt on there. Dude, this whole time... yeah, I thought there was a bolt on there. All right, so. Oh. See, boys? This is what I'm talking about right here. We're making some progress. The fuck is that, dude? That whole thing comes out with the manifold? Is that like the secondary air pump or something or what? I don't want to take that out. Looking like we might have to. Boys, I ain't seeing too much good looking. Anything much good looking going on at all. I think if I take the actual throttle body off, then we might be able to get somewhere. I mean, the bolts are already loose. So, dude, this is fantastic. This is the best thing I've ever worked on. Every bolt in this fucking... every bolt I've taken out so far has been hand tight. Actually, I wouldn't even... hand tight is an underestimate. They've just been absolutely so loose that if you took it down the road and back, you wouldn't have no bolts on this thing no more. Shit, the engine mounts are probably fucking holding on by nylon strings right now. One thread. Update is what we got going on. This thing is ready to come out, but I ain't got much room to pull it, so I'm gonna pull this outer part of the throttle body off. I need to take that bolt out. Then I think I'm good. Like I said, I'm winging this. I got some engine knowledge, but I've never worked on one of these specifically. So, kind of trying to figure it out here. Now, the return lines, the feed and return lines are here. And I'm not really sure what they go to. Oh, there's that other bracket, let me take that out quick. I'm sorry. This one's also hand tight, by the way. I didn't even crack it loose. So, you know, we're going 16 for 16 on hand tight bolts so far. Probably not a good sign because somebody's probably chasing the same problem I'm chasing right now. Oh, these injector boys are about to come right out of here. I need a, whatever that is. Take your guesses right now. I'm saying like a, dude, that's crazy. That's like a -2. I had a 9, but I took it back. That might be a 9 mil. Basically, so far, to be honest with you, this thing ain't doing so great on the Richter scale of how good is this car. Got a 9 mil on here. Way too big. 9 mil's fucking huge. So, oh my god, just look at that thing, dude. Holy. Fucking blowing up this season, I'm telling you. I think we're talking a 7 mil. I don't know. We're about to find out. Really wish I just had my Milwaukee sockets here because this would be so much easier. All right, so we've discovered it's not a 7 mil. It's now an 8 millimeter. Joke's on me. Went to grab an 8 mil. Went down here. Hand tight, brother. Come on now, dude. That's like 29 for 29 on hand tighten bolts on this thing, dude. What is going on, man? Who the hell worked on this thing? Now, hypothetically, you can just pull this out, put it off to the side, and then, oh, hey! Oil ain't supposed to be in there. The hell? All right, so now, oil dipstick is connected to the intake manifold, so that's going to be fantastic to try to get out. Well, there goes my extendo. Manifold's off, and things are still not coming out. What do we got? All right, boys, we're getting into some uncharted territory now. Judging by how much oil is in the throttle body, I can't wait to see. Of course, there's another bolt somewhere. Of course, right? There's also another electrical connector down there that I don't know how your boy is gonna get to. Update. Got the throttle body off. There was 4 bolts in each corner of the throttle body that I missed. I just didn't see them when I was looking around. And then I got down up under the throttle body. I just removed this hose here, which is from here and connects to here. I'm not really seeing anything else that has to come out except for this connector back here, which is I can't really get to. So I'm hoping I can kind of get some room if I pull the manifold up to get that connector out. And then this line's already pulled off. This is the one that was on the intake boot that was not looking great. And then there's a line here that is the one that we already removed. So everything should just kind of pop off at this point. I also see that clip that we lost earlier. Right there. We're gonna need that zombie. But yeah. Thinking we can just pop this all out. Hoses are falling and shit. I don't even know where that hose goes, so guess we'll figure that out. The reason why I'm taking the manifold all the way up out is because when I had the car running yesterday, there was a massive vacuum leak up under the manifold somewhere. So I figured I would take it out and just kind of inspect everything. And by the looks of it, whatever that hose is ain't doing great. I'm not sure what that goes to. This might be the idle control. No, something related to the PC. Something, I don't know, something vacuum related. But whoa, I gotta get this clip. But what is this? It's going to that sensor. That's a hack job if I've ever seen one. What does that sensor do though? I'm gonna have to figure out what kind of sensor that is. But I'm gonna pull that out too and then pull this off so I can pull the whole manifold up out and kind of start inspecting everything. All of the gaskets look okay, but probably gonna replace them because why not? Valves look okay. A lot of carbon buildup in there that we'll have to clean up a little bit. But all right, let me get the rest of what I need to get out of the manifold off. That way I can pull this whole thing up out and then go from there, start diagnosing things, getting part numbers off these hoses. That way I can get them ordered in. And I'm gonna hop over, do the plugs quick. And tomorrow I'll run over to the pick and pull and see if I can find these hoses. If I could find them in there, that'd be great. That way I could get the car running tomorrow and see how it's running. There's also a lot of oil in the intake system from what I'm looking at so far. There's a shit ton of oil in there. So I don't know if that's a PCV issue, which these engines do have the issue, or if rings are going and oil's getting, I don't know yet. So we're gonna do some more diagnosing. We definitely have a lot more to do, but I'm gonna get the rest of this manifold up out of here. That way I can feel like I've accomplished something tonight and start getting part numbers and stuff. That we can order that, and then after that I'm gonna pull the plugs out of the car, get those changed, and then I'm gonna get this thing jacked up in the air by the diff. Just kind of look under the car, see what's going on, because there is some rust issues. So yeah, let's get it done. We have got everything disconnected and the manifold is now out of the car. Inspecting the manifold, nothing too crazy. Everything looks pretty solid, no cracks, nothing like that. Like I was saying, there's a ton of oil. That actually might just be regular PCV amount of oil. I'm not really sure what this contraption is. right here. This is gonna get changed out because they got different gauge wire going to the same connections from the OEM harness. I don't know what that all is, but everything else looks pretty decent. Brand new starter, so that's pretty cool. It's an automatic trans, so unfortunately we ain't using that. All right, cool stuff. I'm gonna go through and get these valve cover bolts out, or not valve cover bolts, but the engine cover bolts, whatever that is over top of the plugs. We'll get this out. I think it's 210s, if I remember correctly. I don't know if it's the same as the M54, but got 210s, and then we'll get the plugs out. I'm loosening this one and it's getting tighter. And now it's doing something weird. I don't know. That bolt ain't feeling right though. Alright, so this probably ain't gonna go good, but the bracket, okay, so the bracket that this bolt screws into is broken on the back side of this cover. So the bolt just spins. And I don't really know how to get it out, so. Just like that, that's how you get it out. Shoo! Got this cover off. These, super easy. This one has a ground strap on it. Cylinder number 1. And the last cylinder does as well, but you just pop these out. This is going to pull the coil packs out. And you just pull this connector out, loosen these two 10 mils, and then you can pop each coil pack out. I just got done pulling the plugs out of the car, and almost every single plug I pulled out has quite a bit of oil on there, which is not a good sign. Especially the fact that it's every single one. So I was going to throw the new plugs in the car tonight. However, I do think that I'm just going to wait to do that. I think tomorrow, or whenever I come up and work on this thing again, I'm gonna bring my compression tester up here and give it a gander and just crank this thing and see what kind of compression we're getting in the cylinders, because if there's that amount of oil in every single, if you look, you can actually see it from up here in almost every single cylinder. Yeah, so that's definitely not good. That to me is a sign of piston rings or oil rings are going, and that's not good. So instead of throwing this thing back together, I'd rather just wait, bring my compression tester up here, because I'm going to order the rest of those vacuum hoses, and if I don't find them at the junkyard tomorrow to put the new plugs in, I feel like it's a waste of time if I just put new plugs in it, and the compression, it has terrible compression. I mean, the car ran okay, it sounded okay, but just to be sure, while the engine is already pretty much, I guess, half apart on the intake side, I'm just going to bring my compression tester up tomorrow and try it and make sure that everything is reading how it should read and go from there. So yeah, pretty much I just want to make sure everything is solid structurally before I throw this thing up on the lift and have a lift arm go through like a rear jack point or something. Because it happens, and this driver's side rear jack point is rotted out. And I don't know if you guys watched the last video, but if not, there's some rust going on in the trunk and stuff too that we'll take a look at. So yeah, I got the car jacked up in the air by the rear diff now, and so far I'm seeing a whole lot of invasive species. There's a spider eating a spider right there, so that's pretty sick. I'm not a big fan of 8-legged creatures, so I'm not getting too far under this thing right now until I clean the underside of this car. But yeah, you can see rust issues. This whole thing probably has to get replaced. However, the main cause for concern right now, at least, is that that might be good enough to get up on the lift. Yeah, some of it's still pretty solid. Without getting very far under the car, everything looks decent right now. Not rotten on this side. That looks like an issue right there, though. I don't know if you guys can see that. That ain't looking great. Oh, man, she's good. That's as solid as it gets, like brand new from the factory. Front looks mint, actually. And can't really see up under the car, but I'm mainly just looking for cracking in the strut towers. But I didn't see anything on the top. No stress fractures or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. That's cool stuff. Heck yeah. So now that we've seen under the car, seen a little bit of how it is structurally. Obviously I can't get up into the subframe and stuff right now, because I ain't going under this car right now. This thing is getting cleaned and sprayed and degreased before that happens. But more importantly, we need to get this thing running solid and do a compression test on this thing, because it's not, the oil, not great, dude. That's looking like blocks getting pulled apart, but hopefully not. So just trying to think positive. If that happens, it's no big deal. I'll just build it and prep it for boost anyways. Just do pistons, rods, head studs, stuff like that. I'd like to get the head sent out anyways. I'd actually prefer to do a M50 head or an early M52 head that doesn't have those coolant passages, because those crack quite often on these cars, and that might actually be an issue with this car right now, or a bad head gasket, because coolant disappears. And yeah, so it doesn't overheat, but it overpressurizes, as I was telling you guys through that cap earlier. So I'm going to get in OEM replacement cap. I'm going to grab my head gasket tester at some point, not anytime right now. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about compression tests first, and then getting all the hoses I need to get this thing started again, and then we'll go from there and do all that. Next video, we're going to go through and start tearing the interior apart. I want to get these seats out of here, that way I can actually get this thing clean. Probably throw this door panel back on, and that seems like it works, so that's pretty good. All of the window actuators work. I got a box of parts here that I have yet to go through. Oh, dude, look at this. So we got a new expansion tank. Doesn't look like an OEM. This is an OEM. So I'm wondering if we just put that cap on there, because there's another expansion tank for some reason. This thing is just blowing through expansion tanks, huh? But we got some OEM taillights. I got the Euro taillights on it now, but this is a OEM something. What do we got in here? I'm not sure what that is. It looks like a Cohibo, but without the bolts. I don't know what that is, but we'll get into that. Oh no! I scratched my paint. These are the plugs I was talking about, NGKs. Got those, the new radio, some other goodies, big ass intake, which I'm not really sure why this was on the car, but yeah, that stuff. I'm gonna go through the next video, get the interior. Oh, that door doesn't. So that door was locked for some reason, but anyways, yeah, this thing needs a thorough cleaning, and the dash, yeah, this thing needs a thorough cleaning. I don't even want to know what under the seats looks like, but yeah, got a long ways to go on this car. I want to get the engine running decently, good, like normal. As long as it runs normal, I know the compression is good. I know the core of the car is good, and I don't have to worry about getting another engine on the side for right now, or building this one. Then I'll go through, I'm going to start staining the car. I'm going to get all this rust issue. I'm going to get all the rust issues fixed here soon. I'm going to go through, sand everything and prep it and primer it. That way it doesn't get worse. And then I'm going to go through, sand the whole car, and we're going to end up wrapping it. This sunroof job, not great. The sunroof leaked before, so he put the delete kit on here and caulked it with house caulk, and it still leaks. So yeah, you know. Other than that, I don't have too much that I want to do on the car tonight. I really do need to go through and clean everything, but that's not my priority right now. That will come after I get the car running good. While the intake manifold's out, I'll go through, degrease everything I can under the manifold, wash everything, do an engine bay detail, while I have access to things that I wouldn't have access with the manifold in. And like I said, the exterior of the car I'm not worried about because it's going to all get sanded. We're going to end up doing a wrap on it. That'll come after the body kit. I'm thinking body kit wise, I'm probably going to do an HM sedan kit. If I don't do an HM kit, I'm probably just going to do an M3 kit. Classic. It looks good on every E36 to do an M3 kit and just fucking slam it on its nuts. So I don't think I would be mad about doing that. However, yeah, I also don't know how I feel about doing the HM kit because it's a JDM-esque kit and it's, you know, it's not everybody's forte. I don't like them on the E46s. I have an E46 and I think M3 is the only valid way to go for that car. I mean, there's other like up there body kits, but we're talking about like cheap kits that I can smash into a wall and not care about. Yeah, I just realized I didn't even film an outro with this video. I'm basically gonna call it a night there. I got the intake manifold and stuff out. When I got to the shop, I actually washed all of the cars, so that took up a lot of the time that I was hoping to use to weld that seat bracket in. So unfortunately, again, another weekend. What is it at this point? Doesn't matter. Another weekend, I'll push it off. Fortunately, that's all I'm going to be able to do tonight, which is super shitty because I was hoping I'd be able to get some work done on the WRX a little bit. Unfortunately, I ran out of time. When I got up there, I had washed both the cars, the E46 and the WRX, and that took up a good amount of time. Fucking ambient temperature sensors in this goddamn thing. They don't work, dude. I have them unplugged. There's nothing left of the temperature sensors, and they have one on each inner fender, and I have them pulled out. And every time it rains or I wash the car, water gets into the connector, and it's the worst thing ever because it just beeps and it beeps and it beeps and it's saying it's -40 outside. It ain't -40 outside, so I don't know what the hell is going on, but I'm definitely going to be finding a set of those tomorrow because I can't do this shit no more. Yeah, but I'm hopping on a main road here and I don't want to get pulled over, especially on a holiday weekend. So I'll catch you guys later. If I get to doing some stuff up there tomorrow on the cars, I'll have my woman with me so she'll actually be able to film some better angles than what I've been dealing with. And hopefully we can get some more work done on the E36 here soon. I'm super stoked about it. I'm heading home. We're going to have a little drink, you know what I'm saying? And I'm hitting the hay.